mystery angles, because this is really the mystery angle part. Okay. So for sanity purposes, for you and for me, especially when marking this, I will usually have a table like this, where I have a diagram with a bunch of missing angles. And at the end of the day, I want all those angles filled in here, like their measurement. And then any justification or work you did to get those angles, you put that down here. Okay. It is very important for you and for me to tell me where are you starting and in which order are you solving them in. Because it can be done from multiple angles. No pun intended, right? So you need to tell me where you start. That would be the very least that I would ask you for. If you then after that just go ahead and solve and you forget to put it down, I understand that, but where you start is very important, because if you make a mistake at the very beginning, you would not be losing marks again down the road. You would just be losing it at the beginning. But if I don't know where your beginning is, then it's a problem. Okay. So let's look at this diagram. So each of the following: determine the value of the indicated angles, justify how you found it. You know how it says do not use each property more than once. For now, let's take it easy on that. If you want to use the same property more than once, I'm okay with it. But I want you to expand your horizon, right? Like to push yourself to use other ones. For example, if you're using corresponding angles that are congruent, don't use it again. Try something else. But you know what? We're still in the learning stage, early learning stages, so I'm okay with you using the same one again. Okay, so here we go. Look at this diagram. The first thing you need to, I would really want to emphasize this is, hey, there are two lines that are parallel. That means that those assumptions we make about those four pairs, they're all true. Okay, let's move on. The next thing I want you to focus on is maybe the transversals that appear. In this case, the ones that I'm going to focus on, right? One of them is right here. That is let's call it T1. And then I'm going to use green for the other one, because I don't want you to mix them up. T2, right? So your two transversals are right there. So, okay, we have that established. Okay, we've got our parallel lines. We can travel along this transversal from one world to the other, or we can choose to take a different bus or train to travel from one city to another. How's that, right? I'm trying to make this relatable. But the first thing I would do is do the easy ones first. Do the easy ones first. What do I mean by that? Vertically opposite is like my favorite. Vertically opposite angles. Do you see it? 39 is when you highlight your transversals, it really comes to life, right? The 39 and A, like if you think about it, they share those two sides that connect here. So 39 and A are technically vertically opposite. So let's go ahead and make that our first. I put a little 1 there. And then I just say, hey, that's 39 degrees. Do I need to do any work? No, you just need to justify. So you'll just say vertically opposite angles are congruent. That's all you need to say there. You get a full mark for that. You usually get half for the angle, half for the justification. Let's see what else we can do. So this one is taken care of. You see another vertically opposite at this intersection, so it's very busy, right? So you got to kind of say E shares this one with 57 and the green one. So E is 57. That's my second one. Where's E? It's way down here. That is the second one. So that's 57 degrees. And how would you do this without using vertically opposite, Mr. Dirksen? How else would you do it anyways? You might tell me. I'll show you that later. Okay, right now, let's just focus on getting this completed. So vertically opposite, there's supplementary angles. There's a bunch of things you can do to make this happen. Vertically opposite angles are congruent. I also want to tell you this. This is just a template. If you'd like to add stuff on the diagram, you write stuff, arrow, boom, I did this here, go for it. Like it's not restricting you to just stick here, but I like the information to be organized in some fashion, not like all over the place and like what happened here, right? Okay, we got that one done. Which one can we do next before we start traveling? Could we do F perhaps? Because if you think about it, it doesn't matter how you want to look at it. If you want to take the green one here, it's a straight angle, right? So these three angles here add up to 180 degrees. Does that make sense? Do you see it? Now you see it, now you don't, right? But yes, I will use that one to find F. And you're like, no, Mr. Erickson, I see a straight angle right here. So that means that these three add up to 180. Yes, you're right. So you're going to have to just decide what you want to go with. Okay. So I'm going to use the green line. And let's see here. Which one is that? F. That's my third angle here. That's my third angle that I'm solving for. I don't know the value yet. So I'm just going to go 180. Tell yourself what you've done. I'm going to go minus 57 minus A. And you're like, we know A already, Mr. Dixon. Yes, I know. But that way, later on, you can track it. It's like, how did I get that? Oh, whatever A was, I used that here. So one more time, 180 minus 57 minus 39. Oh yeah, I do have my answer here. So that is 84. And I used supplementary angles. Straight angle is equal to 180. Let's do that one. It's the same, but straight angle is equal to 180. That's what I've used there. So this is 84 degrees. It takes a lot of time for me to make these questions because I got to make sure everything adds up, right? Everything is, because it doesn't matter which way you go about it. You should all get the same answers for the angles here. Okay, so we've done that. So we have all angles here. We haven't traveled anything. We stayed here. And now let's continue. Let's travel. Okay, so how about we take the orange transversal and we go over to this intersection here. What can we use to find B? Or maybe let's ask this. Maybe I want to do C first. Why? How so, Mr. Dirksen? Because what are these two angles called? Alternate interior. Okay, so I'm going to find that one next. So that's my fourth angle. Okay. So if we know what A is, we just go check there, and that's 39. Bingo. And I'm going to say alternate interior angles are congruent. And I will just say angle A and angle C in this case are alternate interior. I'm just telling myself that. Okay. Let's focus on B now. Do you see another straight angle here? It's right there. You could use that. You'll get the same answer. What is B compared to, let's say, can I say B and 57 are corresponding? Look carefully. Look carefully. This is the transversal I'm traveling, right? So B would be corresponding to this angle right here, like the whole thing that touches the transversal here. So 57 is not corresponding to B. Don't fall for that. Okay. So I'm going to do B next. That's 5. I'm just going to say that's going to be found by going 180 minus angle C. So that's 180 minus 39. And that is 141 degrees. I'll just say a straight angle. How about this, for just because illustration is important? I'm just going to say this is what happens here, right? C is 39, so therefore this is 141, right? That's what's happening. So this is B and this is C. So you should see that there's a straight angle here, and this is the intersection that intersects it, cuts it, right? So that's what's happening there. Over here, if you want to zoom into this one here, the way we found F, right? We had 57 here, and then we had A and F, right? So there's also a 180 degree line there, a straight angle there. Okay. And so A, what did we get for A? 39. So this is 39. And then we found that F was 84. Okay, so these three add up to 180 right here at this intersection there. We're not done yet. We have to fill in one more and also complete this one and make sure this is 141. And last but not least, D. That's going to be number 6, right? So now you can follow. So I did that first, I did that next, then this, right? So that's your storyline. How would I find D? You know, like think of everything you know. How would you find D? Any brave volunteer in this class willing to tell us? Francesca, do you mind sharing or no? Sum of triangle? Yeah, that would have been my go-to, sum of triangle. I don't know if you saw that. There's a triangle, use it, right? So let's just go with it. So 180 minus F minus C. That's how I'm going to do it. So 180 minus F is 84. Minus C is 39. And I have 57, which is exactly the same as E. Let's investigate that in a bit, right? So sum, triangle. I don't want you to just blindly follow what you're getting. It's like, does it make sense, right? So 57. So D is 57. Does it make sense that this is 57? What do we call those two? You follow this transversal, right? That one, forget about everything else. Just focus on the parallel lines and the transversal. That one and that one are corresponding. We expected them to be the same. You could have used it as your justification. Just saying, right? And now your head is spinning, right? And you're like, what happened here, right? This is too much. It's basically me combining everything we've learned separately, like finding the missing angle. Now I'm just combining it all, right? And you're trying to figure out how can I find the missing pieces that way, okay? I'm now going to, I just need to tell you a few more things about the other questions here. Go with me to question 2, and the biggest piece that's missing here is this. The question should have added that all 3 lines are parallel. Okay. And you might wonder, oh, wait a minute, so this one is parallel to that one? Yes. And this one is parallel to that one? Yes. So this one is parallel to this one? Yes. So you just focus like if this is your transversal here, and this is another transversal, you just focus on forget about one of them, for example. Like if you're just gonna travel between this town and this town, right? or city, just focus on what's happening here. What's B compared to 50 here? What do we call these two? CIAs, that's right. Those are CIAs. What about this E here? Forget about it, right? You can only visit one town to the next, right? That's it. And then if you want to visit the other one later, you can do that. But don't focus on everything at once. So practice that. So I'm going to ask you to do 17 and 18. And it gets crazy, I know. It gets crazy. But I just need you to practice that. So let's say you go home or you start now even and you get stuck, right? You're like, I just don't know. You're just gonna say, I don't know this yet. I'm gonna figure it out down the road. Right now, I just want your brains to get started. To get started and to kind of like maybe getting stuck is part of the learning process. Another thing I want to warn you about is go to page 18 real quick. You see the 3-letter notation? Dun, 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 right? I really don't like 3-letter notations. It really confuses me. So this is what I would suggest you do. I'll do the first one with you. You go find that one and you give it a letter or a number, whatever you would like to do. Let's go with numbers first. So DBC, where is that angle? DBC. So it's this one right here. So let's put a little number 1 there. And from now on, we're going to call that angle number 1. Okay? And then find all the other ones and do the same, because otherwise it's very confusing. I want to give you more help yet, because I actually made these ones myself. When I make these, I crop them. I kind of get rid of stuff that GeoGebra originally has there. So there were numbers everywhere here. I just cleared them, right? And I also cut them short. So this side could be extended either way, or even this one that comes across here could have been extended. You use a red pen or use a pen and add if you need to extend it. It's all good, right? Do whatever you need to do. Enough of me yapping. You go for it, and I will continue with this tomorrow. I would just expect you to do everything up until the point before we did this part, like, finding X and justifying whether or not lines are parallel. That I would expect you to know for tomorrow for AC purposes. This I will not hit you with one of these just yet. Okay? All right, guys. So use the rest of the class to get started, and I will post the answer key as well.